Hi, my name is Zarja. I'm the founder of LYO Dog, and I want to welcome you to this online session on mountain biking with dogs and how to train them to become so-called trail dogs. This lesson was originally meant as a part of our Adventure Dog online course that will be coming out later this year. But after seeing the value of the information and the experience in this session, we decided to offer it as a separate lesson as sort of an intro into our online course and into the sport itself. But before we begin, I do want to point out some key takeaways. The first one is Debbie is from Scotland, where the legislation on mountain biking is probably not as strict as in some other countries. For example, in Slovenia, where we are from, bike parks are legal, but natural trails are not, unless you have permission from the landowner. So please, before you take your dogs mountain biking, check the legislation in your country and check if dogs are even allowed on the trails where you will be riding. Even if dogs are allowed, I strongly recommend choosing less frequent trails with less riders and less opportunities to meet people and other dogs. The second point, be very honest with yourself about your riding skills and your dog training skills. If you're not confident in your mountain biking skills, don't take your dog with you. If your riding is not good enough, your dog will only be a distraction and it's going to be dangerous for both of you. You have to be aware of the fact that if you decide to take your dog mountain biking with you or to any other outdoor activity, your dog's well-being should be your number one priority. This means that you have to adapt the length of the ride, you have to adapt your speed, you have to take a lot of breaks, you have to have plenty of water with you for you and your dog. And you need to be mindful of your surroundings and any potential dangers, such as other riders, or when you're sharing trails, also hikers, other dogs, vehicles, wildlife, and you have to be ready for any potential injuries. You have to be aware that your ride with your dog will definitely not be the same as when you go mountain biking alone or with your friends. My strong suggestion would be if your dog doesn't have at least basic obedience and isn't socialized properly, don't take your dog with you. Also, your dog should be very fit and used to running fast with fast turns and jumps. You have to warm up and cool down your dog and take care of its general fitness just as you would for yourself. From experience, I can tell you that the training process itself will be lengthy, a very long-term process. It could be months, it might be even years. There will be a lot of stressful situations, bad days, and very slow progress. So if you're not willing to put in the time, don't take your dog with you. Otherwise, if I haven't scared you off by this point, mountain biking is a great activity and it's one of mine and my dog's favorites. For those of you who would like to train your dog for mountain biking, we will have a full online course at the end of this year. For Slovenia, we're actually thinking of doing a course in hybrid form where we could also meet in person and go through the training process together. We will keep you posted on our website and our social media. So this is it for me for now. I hope that you will enjoy this discussion with Debbie, and I hope to see you all at our online course. Enjoy!
Hi guys, my name's Debbie. I'm from Aberdeenshire in Scotland, and I'm going to talk to you about mountain biking and trail dogs. I do quite a lot of mountain biking. I have done for quite a number of years, and I've got 2 spaniels at the moment. And I've probably trained 5 of our spaniels to come mountain biking with us. Obviously, the laws are different in Scotland, so we'll have a little discussion about where we can mountain bike with our dog, and we'll just have a little look at various aspects of mountain biking with your trail dog. So first of all, we're going to look at why we mountain bike with our dog, why it's so nice to be able to get outside and actually bike with our dogs. We're going to look at how we get started, like how do we start this process from basic training from puppies all the way through to hitting the trails. We're going to have a little look at things that we need to think about when we actually begin to go mountain biking, when we first go to the bike park. There's definitely some things that we need to consider before we even think about taking our dogs to the bike park. We're also going to look at riding natural trails. So these are kind of trails that aren't necessarily man-made, maybe just local trails that you can ride with the permission of the landowner or whatever your laws are in your own country. We're going to have a little look at bike packing adventures. There's nothing better than going biking out in the wilderness, camping out with your dog, and even doing multi-day trips. But there's quite a lot we need to think about before we take our dog on a bike packing trip. So we'll look at that as well. And we'll also look at the equipment that we need to take our dog's bike packing. And to be honest, you almost need as much kit for your dog as you do for yourself when you go bike packing. So we'll have a little look at that. And then finally, we're going to look at longevity. So we obviously want our dogs to be able to mountain bike with us for as long as possible into older age. So we're going to look at how we can really look after our dogs to make sure that they can come mountain biking for us, come mountain biking with us for years to come. Okay then, why are we going to mountain bike with our dog? Well, first and foremost, companionship and bonding. It really does strengthen the bond between yourself and your dog. It's also great physical exercise for yourself, but also for your dog as well. I certainly know from our dogs, they love, as soon as I wheel my bike out, they get so excited, they just love to go biking. It's also mental stimulation for them. The dogs that you're going to be biking with, they're likely to be highly active dogs. They need a lot of mental stimulation, and mountain biking is one way for them to get that stimulation. It's also really good training for your dog. We're going to talk about training aspects later on, but mountain biking is certainly a good way to put some training aspects between yourself and your dog. It also creates unforgettable moments. There's a picture of myself and the dogs there. They just love mountain biking. You have pictures, you have videos, and there's always those times and those rides that you'll always remember. So I cannot recommend highly enough mountain biking with your dog. It's great, and the dogs love it as well. Okay then, how do we get started? This is the first point, and if you're new to dogs, particularly, it can be a bit of a minefield about how do we actually start mountain biking with our dog. First of all, you need to think about choosing the right dog. You need to choose a breed that's going to be energetic and also that's going to enjoy physical activity. Breeds such as collies, spaniels, pointers, your kind of hunting dogs, they're going to love mountain biking. They've got the energy to do it, but it's unlikely that you're going to take a French bulldog, for example, mountain biking with you. They're not going to be interested in that. So if you're thinking about getting a puppy or even rescuing a dog, then make sure if you do want to take it mountain biking that you choose an appropriate breed. Right, you're going to have to invest time in your dog before you go mountain biking. Be prepared to put in the effort to train your dog. This is not going to be a 2-minute process. It's quite a long period of time it can take for you to get your dog trained up well enough that you're then able to take it on the trails. If you do get a puppy and you're thinking about taking it mountain biking, it's really important that you don't even think about going near any trails before that puppy's at least 8 months old. And if it's a larger breed of dog, then actually up to a year. You need to let their bones develop, let them grow before you then start kind of running them a little bit harder. So please, please, it's really important that you don't start running your dog on any trails if they're younger than 8 months old. And also we're going to build it up really slowly.